You guys really seem to enjoy the top 10 starter list. So now let's get into the bullpen, shall we? Top 10 bullpen pitchers currently in MLB The Show 22. I'm going to be doing this one a little bit differently, and I could have done this for the starters as well, but I thought for the bullpen, it would be better if I separated the lefties and the righties. Just because bullpen's a little bit different, you're really only going to be, like, you're going to be using more righties and lefties, and like most of the lefties you're going to be using as lefties, so it's like, it's hard to like compare the bullpen pitchers compared to the starters because you're using the starters for so much longer in the game. They have more of an impact. Relievers, obviously, you're going to be using for like 2, 3, 4 outs. Starting off with the top 10, so I guess our 5th overall lefty is Jose Alvarado. This is a card that's been in multiple MLB The Shows, but really, I feel like this was the most he's ever been used. 105 hits per 98 K per 9. We all know what we're gonna get with Alvarado here. This was from a little bit earlier on in his career. I believe he's on the Phillies now, and his pitch repertoire is a little bit different. He doesn't throw nearly as hard anymore, but this is what he's got, man. 105 hits per 9, 98 K per 9, 2-seam, 4-seam, slider, curveball. I believe he has outlier on his 2-seamer. Yeah, his 2-seamer throw is absolute gas. That shit's gonna be moving at like 101, 102 pretty consistently. So he's a fireballer. He is someone that you would want to bring in like after Franco kind of deal, but that PAR, man, if you're using pinpoint, he's going to be impossible to control. I did pretty decent with Alvarado. You really just want to establish that 2-seamer, the 2-seam slider, because there's like a nice little like 12, 14, 15 mile per hour difference between those two. Before you can differentiate the two of them, the fastball's already blown by you. So Alvarado kicks it off, number 5 of the lefties. Now, when you look at Zach Britton, and he is going to be our number 4 for the lefties, you look at him and you think, holy shit, this card is endgame. Because you see the 120 hits per 9, and you obviously, everybody knows how dominant Zach Britton was in this 2016 season, but this card year in and year out, man, is really a letdown. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because I'm bad, and I know a lot of people are disappointed with this Britton card. Just because, man, if you look at his pitch mix, everything is the same. The only difference is that like he has a slider, but his sinker, his 4-seamer, and his 2-seamer, man, I think there might be like a 2-mile-an-hour difference between the two. So that's really the problem with Britton, man, is that if you can hit the fast shit, you're gonna have a good time. He's obviously still really hard to square up just because of his hits per 9, but if you can get the PC out of the ball and you can turn on hard stuff, you're not going to struggle nearly as much as you think you would against the Zach Britton card. So it's not that Britton's really bad, it's just that he's a little disappointing or underwhelming year in, year out. But these next 3 guys are the 3 guys that I use in my bullpen, and in my opinion, are the 3 best. Number 3 is Aroldis Chapman's, what is it, face of the franchise, are they called? I honestly can't remember what these cards are called, but Chapman is the 3rd ranked lefty on this list. We all know what Chapman, we all know what he does. He's actually really good this year, man. I'm really glad we got this card. 31, like, you look at those stats and you go, wait, this guy's not number 1? What the fuck? You guys are actually gonna shit your pants at who I think the number 1 reliever in this game is for lefties. Chapman is really good this year, man. He's really dependable. They really did a great job with his splitter this year, bro. His splitter is impossible to hit. That's honestly his hardest pitch to hit. Now, number 2 is Josh Hader, and you would think, what the fuck? If Hader is not number 1, then who is number 1? Hader is absolutely insane. Very similar stat-wise to Chapman. The one difference being that Chapman doesn't really have the hits per 9. Hader has literally 125. Well, I guess technically 129 hits per 9, even though you can't get that high. It's literally just because he just makes the PCI so small, man. Like he's just so impossibly hard to square up. Number 1, I had to give it to the Jays legend himself, Aaron Loup. Now hear me out. We all know what Aaron Loup was like last year with the Mets. He got a finest card, and he was for the most part really impossible to hit. It is no different this year either, even with his silver card on the Angels. Look at that, for a silver. Cutter, circle change, slurve for Aaron Loup. And the best thing about Loup is, I already have him P3, but the best thing about Loup is that literally every day the Angels play, he's got 5-star inside edge. So that 105 hits per 9, bro, I think it goes up to like 117, 116 maybe. With all the per 9 boosts and stuff like that, man, and with just how impossible he is to pick up, and it just makes your PCI so small. It's just not a fun time facing him. Really, in any game mode, dude, even BR, like, I struggle to hit loop, and it's honestly so frustrating. Getting into the top 5, though, and starting off with top 5, I had to put Cheese Check in here. This is honestly the best C-Check card I think we've ever gotten, and it's a really good card that because they released him so early on in the game. I don't think they've really ever released C-Check this early on in the game. He's had like low like golds early on in the game, but I don't think we've ever had his diamond card this early on. Sinker, slider, four seam, splitter, changeup. So it's a little bit of a shame that he has a splitter and a changeup, just because there's like you don't need both of them. You really only want one. If you had like a cutter instead of that changeup, he'd literally be unhittable. Now, it wouldn't be a top 5 list without having my father on this list. To whoever decided to put a diamond OTTAVINO card at the start of the game again, I literally cannot hit this man, and I haven't since he had his good card in 20, but my god, is he gross. 107 hit sprint, 115k per 9, 110 pitcher clutch, slider, like his pitch mitts, he's just so AIDS, dude. We all know OTTAVINO's AIDS. The top 3 starts off with probably my workhorse. Pitch for me, most of that came within a tournament. This is honestly one of the most fun cards to use in the game. He's so good. He's obviously got the per 9s you want. The walks per 9 isn't really there, so that's why he's a little bit hard to control. And I know I always say that like the pitch mitts is important, and when you look at his pitch mitts, he literally has a fastball, and then the rest of his pitches are the exact same velo. But when literally every single pitch has a 99 break with 114 hits per 9, I don't give a goddamn what the velocity is. I mean, 99 break and everything, dude. 114 hits per 9. I really had a hard time putting him at number 3 and not even like number 1, because you could honestly, dude, you could differentiate this top 3 in any order, and I wouldn't say it was wrong. Number 2 might be a surprise to you guys, or might just be like an underrated one that you might not have been suspected. Johan DURAN, the young Twins pitcher. This guy's sickening. He's 6'5", has an overhand release, okay? So it's not gonna be like from the side or like a normal starter. Not, this motherfucker is throwing like this. Really good per 9s, obviously, as most of these early game pitchers, their biggest downfall is the control, the watts per 9 and the control stat. But I mean, like, he doesn't have terrible control on his fastball and his splitter. He's got an outlier. He actually has, and this is the first ever time I've seen this, he has an outlier splitter. So not only does he have the splitter fastball quirk with outlier, this motherfucker is throwing a 97-mile-an-hour splitter at you. That's just flat out unheard of. It's unheard of. Oh yeah, outlier on his splitter. Yeah, he also has outlier on his fastball. So he's gonna be throwing 102 and a 97 splitter at you. And then in case that wasn't difficult enough, he also has a 80-mile-an-hour cutter. Have fun trying to hit him, bro, because there's honestly there's no tips I can give you, because I don't know how to hit the fucker. I had to put Henley at number 1 just because, I mean, like, I can't, like, look at those stats, dude. It literally would have been criminal of me to not put Henley at number 1, so I had to put him at number 1 just because I haven't really used that Duran guy a whole lot yet. Really, the one thing about Henley is I only have him P1. He's almost a P2 just because, like, I only use him in high leverage situations. So, cutter, slider, sinker for Henley. This is obviously, like, his mid diamond. He will probably get he'll get some form of 99 on the, like, a 6 series or, like, a prime card. I mean, he's got everything, man. He's got the cutter sinker combo that you want, the control, the movement. It's nice to see Big Henley get a diamond card early on. So let me know what you guys think of the top 10 relievers. Be sure to go check out the other videos on the channel as well, the top 10 starters. Let me know what you guys want next. I guess we could do like I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm gonna really do like infielders and outfielders, like separate them like that, but I'll figure it out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of these lists, and let me know your personal opinions on the best pitchers in the game, and maybe tell me I'm an idiot if you think I'm wrong in some of these. But I appreciate all the support so far, fellas. Be sure to drop a sub if you're new. We are on the road to 2K subs. It would be muchly appreciated, and I will see you beauties in the next one. Peace.